Good day everyone, we are Group 2 and we are gonna be discussing planning services, environmental planning services, post-construction services, construction services, and construction management. I am Yunila Jewel Bantiad with Meridon, Ave, and Aljo Calio discussing planning services, where we will talk about large-scale or macro-scale planning. Firstly, in planning services is site planning. What is site planning? Site planning is a critical process that focuses on how structures are arranged on a plot of land. For example is the CLUP or Comprehensive Land Use Plan that the LGU uses. It determines optimal locations and design for the structure that works within the space, reviewing zoning of the potential project site. This process considers factors such as topography, infrastructure, and environmental and climate context to ensure that the design is both functional and aesthetically pleasing. Ultimately, the primary goal of site planning is to create a design that harmonizes with the landscape and its environment while adhering to local regulations. Responsibilities in site planning. Firstly, conduct site analysis. This includes gathering information on land's topography, climate, soil conditions, hydrology, vegetation, and orientation. The data collected helps understand the site's natural conditions and any constraints that need to be addressed before development. Secondly, develop a conceptual plan. A conceptual plan outlines how the land can be best used. The plan considers how buildings will be positioned, the flow of traffic, how open spaces will be used, and how the environment will be preserved. The plan aims to optimize the land use while ensuring functionality and beauty. Thirdly, coordination with experts. Architects need to work closely with civil engineers who ensure proper utilities and infrastructures, surveyors who map the land, and local authorities who ensure compliance with laws. This ensures that every aspect of the site, from infrastructure to environmental impact, is addressed. Zoning and environmental compliance. Site planners must ensure that the development adheres to local zoning laws, rules that dictate how land can be used, and environmental regulations, laws that protect the environment. Steps in site planning. First, determine optimal location. Finding the best location for the structure on the site based on slopes, access to utilities, sunlight, and wind patterns. By conducting a feasibility study and engaging with both the community and regulatory bodies, one can develop a comprehensive site plan that aligns with local needs and complies with zoning laws. Secondly, review zoning laws. Check the local government units, LGUs, to understand what type of structures and uses are allowed on the site. Third, access the site. Detailed analysis of the soil, slopes and vegetation, hydrology, and parcel ownership, who owns different sections of land. All of these factors influence where buildings can be placed. What is the difference between site development plan and master plan? Site development plan centers on a specific layout within a defined area. Its purpose is to arrange layout of spaces around a particular structure. In essence, it deals with how architectural elements, landscaping, roads, and open spaces are organized within the specific project site. The site development plan is much more constricted, detailing how open spaces and built environments interact. For example, it determines where gardens, parking lots, and pathways will be placed in relation to the building. In contrast, in Master Plan provides a long-term vision for the entire site or area. It outlines a bigger picture strategy for future growth and development, covering the entire land and including future buildings, roads, parks, and infrastructure. Master plans estimate timelines, project costs, and guide the phasing of a project. This means it specifies what gets built first, second, and so on. Unlike a site development plan, which focuses on the detailed arrangement of spaces around a specific structure, the master plan offers a more broader perspective that guides the overall development of an area. It serves as a long-term framework, ensuring that all future developments align with the original vision for the site.
Good day, I am Meridon Ray Abe, and I'm going to report the topic subdivision planning. So initia is a critical process in land development, primarily focused on dividing a large parcel of land into smaller, organized lots, often for residential or mixed-use purpose. Ang goal ani is to ensure that infrastructure, utilities, and public spaces are thoughtfully and efficiently organized, making the development functional, attractive and sustainable. Natin siya na sa mga key phases sa subdivision planning. First is ang sketch plan. This is the initial step where a broad concept is created, mapping out the division of the land. Yung nag-provide siya a rough idea of how the lots will be arranged, the road network, and possible locations sa mga utilities. Second is ang preliminary plan. After the sketch plan is approved, it moves into a more detailed design phase. Here, factors such as land gradients, drainage, utilities, and zoning regulations are carefully considered. This plan nag-require siya of mga input sa mga experts such as sa mga civil engineers and surveyors. The third is ang final plan, the culmination of the process where all the details are finalized. This includes the finalized layout of new lots, roads, utilities, and public spaces, with all necessary adjustment based sa feedback from the preliminary stages. Nya kaya siyang plan is presented for approval by local authorities before development can begin. Yung mga important considerations, first, the environmental and structural context. Subdivision planning doesn't occur in isolation. It is important to study how the development will fit into the surrounding area. Ang plan should take into account like existing infrastructure and structures nearby, the natural environment such as water flow, topography, and wildlife, and how the development will impact neighboring areas in terms of traffic, drainage, and overall aesthetics. Second is ang simultaneous development. Subdivision projects often involve multiple phases and may occur alongside other developments. It is essential to anticipate the effects of simultaneous construction sa surrounding area and ensure coordination with ongoing projects. Third is ang interrelationship with surroundings. Acacia is a well-planned subdivision, considers how new structures will interact with existing ones. Yung nag-involve siya of studying factors like sa mga road access, community integration, and potential effects on property values and local infrastructure. Then ano siya yung mga responsibilities ang subdivision planning. Ang first is ang layout design. Ini siya is nag-involve of designing the road networks, positioning sa utilities like sa electricity, water, sewage, and allocating public spaces like parks or playgrounds. The goal is to create an efficient, user-friendly layout. Second is regulatory compliance. Kini siya is each subdivision must comply with local regulations such as zoning laws, environmental protection guidelines, and safety standards. Ensuring compliance is critical for obtaining approval and moving forward with construction. Third is coordination with experts. Kini siya is successful planning requires collaboration with various professionals. Like sa mga surveyors, kini sila is nag-help map out the exact boundaries and topography of the land. Second is kaning mga civil engineers. They ensure that infrastructures like roads, drainage, and utilities are designed to work efficiently and meet regulatory standards. Then, ang kaning mga municipal authorities, they provide approval and oversee compliance with local development rules. Then, ang fourth is public consultation and stakeholder engagement. Engaging with local residents, stakeholders, and potential buyers is important for creating development that meets community needs and addresses potential concerns. Yet these can involve public meetings or consultations to gather feedback. Then sa iyang scope of services, ang subdivision planning is comprehensive. Nag-require siya all concepts and ideas be transformed into detailed physical plans before construction. Yung goal is to optimize the use of land for development while ensuring a good return on investments or ROI. Then kaya siya nag-include sa mga efficient of space, maximizing profitability for developers, creating a community that is functional, sustainable, and integrated with the surrounding area. Then ang kaning subdivision planning is nag-focus siya on efficiently dividing a large parcel of land into smaller lots while ensuring infrastructure, utilities, and public spaces are well organized and compliant with local regulations. Kanya, And the process ani is nag-involve siya multiple phases, mga itong gatong sketch, preliminary, o ang mga final plans requiring coordination with the surveyors, engineers, and municipal authorities. Kanya ang iyang mga key considerations nag-include studying the surrounding environment, anticipating the impact on neighboring areas, and managing simultaneous development projects. Public consultation and stakeholder engagement are essential to creating a community that is both functional and sustainable, ultimately optimizing land use and maximizing return on investment or ROI.
Hello everyone, I am Aljo Calio and I'll be discussing to you what is urban and community design. So urban and community design refers to planning and organization of spaces within a city or community. And by their planning and organizing of spaces sa city, ina-ensure sab nila nga syempre dapat functional, sustainable, o visually pleasing ang mga kina-design nila. Next, the focus is on creating an environment that serve the needs of the people who live, work, and interact in their spaces. Syempre because sila ang mga nagapuyo or ang mga people within the city na ginaplanuhan nila ang magamit sa or makapahimulos sa design nga gihimo nila. And next, and it is also important to take note that they emphasizes on public spaces like streets, parks, and plazas. So next is purpose of urban community design. So first, broad scale of urban environments. The aim is to ensure the city or community functions well at a macro level. So magka-idea na mo how important o necessary ang urban and community design from the word macro pa lang, di ba? Kaya syempre, the bigger the responsibility and the broader the considerations, mas dagan sab ang mga apektuhan, either it's for the better or not. And like sa na-mention ganiha, this includes public spaces, streets, parks, and even transportation systems, all working together. And the next is, it is aesthetic and sustainable design. Beyond functionality, this design need to be visually pleasing and
Soundwire,
sustainable.
free version.
Kaya syempre, kinsa may di ganahan nga if mag-jogging-jogging ka kay nice kayo ang view nga kakakita nimo, di ba? Refreshing kayo, tas most of all, safety pa ka kay di ka mag-worry nga simba kung mabanggaan ka sa dinli tungod sa pagka-unconventional na planning sa nga area. And by this, maka-sure ka na it is enhancing the quality of life for residents. Ang area of focus. So, unsa di ang gina-focus or ginauna sa urban and community design? Una, relationship between structures and surrounding environment. This involves studying how buildings and spaces interact with their surroundings. Ganiha, we mentioned na functional ang planning. Dapat, di ba? Sama na sa, for example, like micro-level na planning, just like residentials. Di man ka magpataka lang siguro cluster sa ang private or personal spaces or area sa mga lugar na makareceive or makita sa mga bisita, di ba? Sama na sa broader scale or broader level na how each type of occupancy kay mag-work and coexist in harmony syempre sa isa ka community or city. This includes other buildings, landscapes, and natural features. So next is impact of neighboring areas. Designers consider the influence of adjacent neighborhoods or spaces, ensuring cohesion and connectivity. For example, sa zoning sa specific na lugar in that city, make sure nga appropriate sab siya nga near or adjacent sa mga neighboring structures niya like bagay siya. For example, ang connections between churches, parks, and municipal hall nga if mabantayan ninyo, kay gawpan dyan na sila. The reason na sab is also because of the influence during Spanish colonialization. Human behavior and activities. Urban design prioritizes how people use space, whether for walking, biking, recreation, or socializing. Sama sa kina-example na ako ganihan, di ba, na mag-jogging, gana. The design should encourage healthy, sustainable lifestyle and ease of movement. Na mga tao or residents in that area, they won't feel anxious or they would feel easy about any matter na related or gina-consider sa planning. Next is economic, legal, and environmental considerations. Urban design is shaped by the economic conditions, urban or rural ba na siya, local laws and regulations, and environmental factors. So, pretty self-explanatory, like designers must balance these components to create functional and viable spaces. So, the next slide is specific design targets. Neighborhood or targeted areas. Designers work on specific zones such as residential neighborhoods, urban districts, or special purpose areas like plazas and streetscapes. So like we learned ganiha na it is on a macro level. So or of a city or community. So they naturally became the main considerations and inspirations on making these spaces suitable for the people living or working there. Next slide. So, unsa day ang responsibilities of urban designers? First is developing master plans. These plans are blueprints for how a neighborhood or urban district will develop. So, from the word blueprint, meaning a plan or set of proposal that shows how it is expected to work. Like gina-envision na nila on how a city would and should look like. Syempre, it includes zoning, land use, transportation, like how they will intelligently connect spaces or areas, and also green spaces. So next is designing public spaces. These include parks, public squares, pedestrian-friendly streets, and streetscapes that encourage social interaction. So kinahanglan nga ang pag-design sa mga public spaces kay accessible and adaptable sa tanan, from children, tamang sa mga seniors, and also sa mga people with disabilities. So by providing a range of amenities sa area, urban designers can attract and accommodate diverse users, which is also good para sa physical, mental, and sociological aspects sa residents within that area. So next is integration of transportation, infrastructure, and green spaces. So a well-designed urban area integrates road, public transport, cycling paths with infrastructure like utilities, and green spaces. The goal is to ensure efficient movement while enhancing environmental sustainability. So again, kinahanglan na convenient for commuters sa resident to move from one mode of transport to another or one place to another. Kaya makamitigate sab ni sa mga common problems like traffic in an area, making their experience more smooth and comfortable. And lastly is engagement with the community. Urban designers engage with local residents, businesses, and stakeholders to ensure that design reflects the community's needs and cultural values. So by considering and by doing this, makahelp sad o understand ang mga urban designers sa mga problems within the area para aduna say appropriate na mga solutions na mahatag. And importantly, by considering the community and by engaging with them, maka-empower sab ni sa ila nga aduna sila say sa decision nga syempre directly maka-apekto sa ila kay sila man mismo ang gapuyo. And lastly, here is the focus or the important details na na-discuss nato aning urban and community design. So, una, urban and community design focus on creating well-organized, aesthetically pleasing, and sustainable environments within the cities and communities. And it also emphasizes the relationship between buildings and their surroundings, considers the impact on neighboring areas, and integrates human activities like walking and biking into its designs. Next is responsibilities include developing master plans for neighborhoods, designing public spaces, and ensuring the seamless integration of transport, infrastructure, and green spaces. And lastly, urban design is deeply community-centric, meaning it engages with local stakeholders to address social, cultural, and economic needs, all while adhering to legal and environmental considerations. That's all.
Good day everybody, my name is Kizia Baigan and today I will be discussing the critical topic of environmental planning services within the realm of urban and regional planning. So as our cities and regions continue to expand, the need to balance development with environmental sustainability has never been more important. So environmental planning services are integral to urban and regional planning. These services involve a comprehensive approach to managing the environmental impacts of development projects, ensuring that growth is sustainable and beneficial for both current and future generations. By incorporating environmental considerations into urban and regional planning, we can create healthier, more livable communities. So, in this presentation, we will explore how these environmental planning services are applied in urban and regional planning. So, urban planning is the technical and political process that guides the development and design of land use and the built environment. It involves making thoughtful decisions about the use of space to balance social, economic, and environmental needs. Okay, so one of the core components of urban planning is land use planning. So this involves zoning, which designates specific areas for residential, commercial, industrial, and recreational purposes. Proper land allocation ensures that every parcel of land is used efficiently and sustainably. So next is transportation planning. Transportation planning is another crucial aspect. It includes road networks, public transit systems, and infrastructure for non-motorized transport like bike lanes, pedestrian path. Effective transportation planning reduces traffic congestion, lowers pollution, and enhances mobility. Next is housing and community development. So, urban planners are also focused on housing and community development. This involves ensuring the availability. This involves ensuring the availability of affordable and quality housing for various income groups and planning community services such as schools, hospitals, parks, and recreational facilities. Okay, so the importance of public spaces. Of course, public spaces are the heart of urban life. They provide areas for recreation, social interaction, and cultural activities. Well-designed public spaces enhance the quality of life, foster community engagement, and contribute to the overall aesthetic of urban areas. So, the types of public spaces, of course, public spaces comes in various forms, including parks, plazas, squares, streets, and waterfronts. Each type serves different purposes but collectively may create a network of accessible, enjoyable spaces for the community. Environmental sustainability. It is like a cornerstone of modern urban planning. It involves practices that minimize negative environmental impacts and promote the health of urban ecosystems. Okay, so we'll explore the differences and connections between urban design and urban planning, two crucial disciplines that shape our urban environment. So, urban design. Urban design focuses on the physical features of cities, creating functional and visually appealing spaces. However, urban planning is about guiding land use and development through strategic policies and regulations. Gets, guys? So, urban design, gina-emphasize niyang aesthetic and the human experience at a micro level, working on neighborhoods, parks, and spaces. While urban planning is a macro approach. It takes a macro approach addressing zoning, transportation, and community services for entire cities and regions. So urban design is closely tied to architecture. Focusing on design principles, urban planning integrates various disciplines like geography and sociology to inform broader strategies and regulations. Okay, so the key objectives. Urban design aims to enhance quality of life, foster social interaction, and create harmonious environments. Urban planning seeks sustainable development, efficient resource use, and a balanced approach to economic and social needs. Okay, so diba, both fields often collaborate. Urban planners provide the framework while urban designers implement detailed plans, creating cohesive urban environments. Okay, so to summarize it all, urban design and urban planning are distinct yet interconnected. Together, they help create functional, vibrant, and sustainable cities that meet the needs of their residents. Okay, so in identifying challenges, first, we need to identify key challenges like traffic congestion, affordable housing, and environmental issues. Okay, so engaging the community is crucial. Their input helps ensure solutions reflect local needs. Implementing sustainable design like green spaces and efficient public transport enhances livability and reduces impact. So when it comes to innovative technologies, leveraging smart city technologies can optimize services and improve quality of life. Next is supportive policies. Finally, supportive policies and regulations encourage sustainable and equitable urban development. Okay, so to summarize it all, a holistic approach combining community input, sustainability, technology, and policy is key to transforming our urban areas. So reviewing development plans ensures they align with community goals, zoning regulations, and sustainability standards. This process helps identify potential issues early on. Okay, so the key components to assess include land use, compatibility, environmental impact, infrastructure needs, and community amenities. Each aspect plays a crucial role in the overall plan's effectiveness. Incorporating community input is vital. Engaging residents allows planners to address concerns and integrate local preferences, fostering support for the project. Okay, so ensuring compliance with local regulations and policies is essential. This includes checking for adherence to zoning laws and environmental regulations. So after thorough review, planners provide recommendations for modifications or approvals, ensuring the plan contributes positively to the community. So to summarize, reviewing development plans is a critical step in creating sustainable and community-focused urban environments. Okay, how about key strategies for enhancing quality of life in urban areas? So quality of life encompasses factors like safety, accessibility, and well-being. So improving it leads to healthier, happier communities. Creating and maintaining green spaces like parks, gardens, and recreational areas provide residents with places to relax, socialize, and enjoy nature. When it comes to sustainable transportation, developing efficient and accessible public transportation encourages mobility, reduces traffic congestion, and enhances connectivity across the city. Okay, so community engagement. Engaging the community in decision making ensures that developments reflect their needs and preferences, fostering a sense of ownership and pride. So when it comes to safety and services, improving public safety and access to essential services like healthcare, education, and housing directly impacts residents' well-being. In summary, enhancing quality of life in urban areas involves creating green spaces, which is the landscape, promoting sustainable transport, engaging communities, and ensuring safety. How about strategies for solving major urban problems? So urban areas face challenges like traffic congestion, right? Pollution, housing shortage, and social inequality. Addressing these issues is crucial for sustainable development. So when it comes to integrated transportation, we have to implement integrated transportation solutions such as expanding public transit and creating bike lanes, and can reduce congestion and promote cleaner travel options. Developing affordable housing initiatives ensures that all residents have access to safe and decent living conditions, helping to alleviate homelessness and overcrowding. Investing also in green infrastructure like parks, green roof, and urban forests helps combat pollution, enhances biodiversity, and improves residents' quality of life. Next is establishing community programs that promote social equity, education, and job training can empower residents and reduce inequality. So in summary, solving major problems requires a solving major urban problems requires a multi-phase approach that integrates transportation, housing, green infrastructure, and community engagement. Okay, so another is the key challenges in urban planning, such as pollution, traffic jams, urban voice, and ecological impacts. So pollution in both air and water poses significant health risk. Urban planners can mitigate this by promoting green spaces, sustainable transportation, and stricter emissions regulations. Traffic congestion affects mobility and quality of life. Solutions include expanding public transit options, developing bike lanes, and urban voids. Underutilized or vacant spaces can detract from community vibrancy. Transforming these areas into parks, community centers, or mixed-use developments can revitalize neighborhoods. Okay, so ecological impacts of urbanization threaten local and ecosystems. Planners must prioritize sustainable practices such as preserving natural habitats and implementing green infrastructure. So to summarize it all, addressing pollution, traffic jams, and urban voids and ecological impacts requires innovative and sustainable planning solutions. Okay, next is let's discuss the core responsibilities in urban planning, which is demographic and spatial analysis, long-term planning, collaboration with stakeholders, and environmental sustainability. So urban planners begin with demographic and spatial analysis to understand population trends, land use patterns, and community needs. This data informs effective decision-making and resource allocation. Next is developing long-term plans is crucial for guiding sustainable growth. Planners create comprehensive strategies that address housing, transportation, and infrastructure to meet future demands. Collaboration with stakeholders such as government agencies, community organizations, and residents is essential. Engaging diverse voices ensures that plans reflect the community's needs and foster support for initiatives. Lastly, prioritizing environmental sustainability is key. Urban planners incorporate green practices, paying public transit, preserving green spaces, and integrating renewable energy solutions to enhance resilience. Next is let's discuss the importance of sustainability in urban planning, focusing on promoting green spaces, reducing pollution, and encouraging sustainable energy and materials. So promoting green spaces is vital for enhancing urban livability. Parks and gardens improve air quality, provide recreational opportunities, and foster community well-being by offering places for social interaction. So reducing pollution is essential for public health. A sustainable planning strategies such as implementing efficient waste management systems and promoting eco-friendly transportation help minimize air and water pollution. So encouraging the use of sustainable energy sources like solar and wind is crucial for reducing our carbon footprint. Integrating renewable sources solutions in urban design promotes energy, efficiency, and resilience. Lastly, using sustainable building materials contributes to lower environmental impact. These materials often require fewer resources, are more durable, and reduce waste, making them a smart choice for eco-friendly construction. In summary, sustainability in urban planning through green spaces, pollution reduction, and the use of sustainable energy and materials is essential for creating resilient, healthy, and vibrant urban environments. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for listening.
Good day, I am Hannah Calhornido and I will be discussing regional planning, which is also part of environmental planning services. It plays an important role in managing our communities and environments. So let's examine what regional planning entails, the objectives, and its fundamental elements. Unlike urban planning, regional planning focuses on individual cities. Regional planning covers large geographic areas, including multiple cities, towns, and rural regions. The goal is to develop comprehensive strategies that promote a balance between economic growth, environmental preservation, and efficient transportation systems. Let's break down some key components of regional planning and environmental planning services. The geographic scope of regional planning operates on a large scale, often encompassing multiple cities, towns, and even countries. Unlike urban planning, which focuses on a single city, the regional planning manages the special relationships between urban and rural areas. This means, gina-analyze sa planners kung unsa ang cities ga-interact and share resources, o gi-ensure nila nga ang growth in one area benefits the entire region. So let's look at the focus areas of regional planning. There are three main focus areas. First is the economic development. This ensures sustainable growth by identifying areas where industries can flourish, all while considering the overall regional economy. The second is environmental conservation. This focus area aims to protect vital natural resources like forests, rivers, and wildlife habitats that are shared across regions, ensuring that they are preserved for future generations. And the third is regional transportation. Planners create transportation networks such as roads, railways, and public transit systems that efficiently connect different parts of the region, enhancing accessibility between urban and rural areas. The integration of city elements in regional planning aims to harmonize interactions between cities within a region. This involves looking at how infrastructure, resources, and services can be effectively integrated. By coordinating these elements, gina-ensure sa planners nga ang cities ga-operate efficiently together rather than in isolation. Kani nga approach maka-help ni siya para ma-maximize ang resources and ma-improve overall functionality. The fourth key concepts of regional planning is the shared resources. Shared resources often share natural resources like rivers, forests, and mountains. These resources kay ga-generate siya og many functions sa economics such as through tourism and agriculture. Regional planners focus on sustainable management of these resources, ensuring that economic advantages are distributed fairly across the region while also protektahan ang environment. This balance kay important para sa long-term health og now let's look at the two key elements of regional planning and the rules. Regional planners are responsible for using land and resources effectively to promote sustainable growth and revitalization throughout the entire region. They work to balance several key factors: economic development, transportation, environmental conservation, and the well-being of communities across various municipalities. By coordinating these elements, regional planners help create thriving interconnected areas that benefit everyone. Regional plans is a strategic document that governs how a region grows. Naka-include siya sa important policies on land use, transportation, environmental protection, and economic development. Kani nga plans gina-guide ang municipalities on how to develop in a coordinated manner. This coordination is important to prevent uncoordinated growth, which can lead to inefficiency and environmental degradation. So we have specific responsibilities for regional planners, and those are: first is the develop land use plans. Planners create strategies for how land will be used in the region. Gina-balance nila ang growth urban with balancing with conservation. This ensures space for development, agriculture, industry, and protected natural areas. Second is the coordinate infrastructure and transportation. They work to ensure that transportation networks like roads and railways are well connected across municipalities to make it easier for people and goods to move. In promote economic development, regional planners develop strategies to boost economic activities that benefit the region while preserving natural resources. Next is the engage with stakeholders. They collaborate with governments, businesses, and local communities to ensure that diverse voices are heard in the planning process. This collaboration is important for successful regional planning. In summary, regional planning plays an important role in managing larger geographical areas, balancing economic growth, environmental conservation, and transportation efficiency. By focusing on the geographic scope, integration of city elements, and shared resources, the regional planners will ensure that communities will thrive together. That concludes my presentation on the topic of regional planning. Now, let's move on to our next reporter.
Post-construction services. So, what is post-construction services in architecture?
Charot lang guys, I wasn't able to introduce myself. Hi, my name is Kyla Arpitos and I am going to report about the post-construction services. Okay, so back to the video.
So the post-construction services, this service encompasses the full range of architectural services after a building's completion. This phase ensures an effective communication between stakeholders and architects, especially when they want to facilitate the maintenance and performance evaluation of the structure itself. Now, there are several services under the post-construction services. Number one is the building and equipment maintenance. So, what is this building and equipment maintenance? This is a service that an architect may possibly offer to check and ongoing maintenance services in order to ensure that all building components, such as several systems like HVAC, plumbing, and lighting fixtures, that they are functioning properly, and that this also includes a possibility to hire an in-house architect in order to oversee maintenance tasks. Second is the building and ground administration. Now, this aspect is where an architect must also take the role of being a building administrator. Now, being a building administrator comes with a lot of responsibilities to take, and they must focus on billings. These billings includes the utilities such as electricity bills, water bills, telephone bills, and gas bills. Being a building administrator must also monitor of the security and janitorial services, and they must also be conservant when it comes to local ordinances and building regulations, especially that these local ordinances and regulations is enacted to protect the health, life, and the property itself. Third is the post-construction evaluation. Now, this aspect, or service rather, is where an architect can provide evaluation services, and this is to assess the effectiveness of functionality of the building post-occupancy. This is where they evaluate the initial program versus the actual use of facility. In this service, they can also determine the effectiveness of various building systems and material systems that they use. They must also evaluate the functional effectiveness of the plan, and they must also analyze the design process and also the construction process. Fourth one is the manner of providing services. This is about a client and an architect going into contract, and there will be two possible ways that they will have to agree on, especially towards the architect. First possible way before going into contract is that an architect may work in a dual capacity. By dual capacity, this is about being a consulting architect for site and physical planning services, and also being the architect of record. And the second possible way is that there will be no dual capacity, but the architect will only work as a consulting architect for site and physical planning services. Now, lastly is the method of compensation. Now, there are two types of compensation methods. First one is the salary basis, and the other one is the management fee based on percentage of gross rentals. Now, salary basis is where an architect will receive their regular pay, especially when they are working in a firm. They will receive a fixed amount of salary depending on which day of the month that they will receive. It will most likely be received weekly or less frequent. Second method of compensation is the management fee based on percentage of gross rentals. This is not only about receiving the fixed salary that an architect regularly receives, but they will also have, or rather receive, a separate charge, especially when they do specific tasks or they offer other services beyond their work, and it will most likely, or they will most likely receive around the range of 4% to 6% of fee. Therefore, post-construction services involves in identifying the possible problems of the building itself, which then highlights the importance of verifying and ensuring that the buildings that are constructed are capable of meeting the needs of their occupants, and also to ensure that the building itself is able to function and operate efficiently. So, in conclusion, post-construction services plays an important role in the process of constructing a building, because this is where we will be able to see if the building itself will function properly by verifying through several evaluations on what are the necessary maintenance or reinforcements that are needed to be improved. In this way, architects and stakeholders will create a channel between them when it comes to communicating and providing relevant information towards the performance and functionality of the building. Good day everyone, my name is Krisha B. Rivera and I'll be discussing construction services. Construction services refer to a wide spectrum of tasks and responsibilities associated with the building process. From initial design to project completion, these services play a crucial role in shaping our built environment. SPP Document 204A, also known as the Construction Services Document, is also a part of the Standard of Professional Practice, issued by the United Architects of the Philippines. It outlines the roles, responsibilities, and processes involved when an architect provides construction services. Construction services phases. The construction services provided by an architect can be broken down into a few stages: the pre-construction, during construction, and post-construction. The principal members in the construction process. The owner, which initiates the project and orders its implementation. The role of the owner involves more than just financial investment. They're the visionary who sets the project in motion. They will work closely with the architect, contractors, and other stakeholders to turn their vision into reality. Next is the architect and specialist consultants, or SCs, provide plan and design services as well as limited inspection. The architect's job is to transform the owner's ideas into tangible plans. They'll listen to the owner's vision, consider the site, and create detailed architectural drawings. The architect collaborates with special consultants, such as the following: the structural engineer, which ensures the building can withstand loads, earthquakes, and other forces; the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, or MEP consultant, which designs systems for heating, cooling, lighting, and water supply; the landscape architect plans outdoor spaces, greenery, and pathways; and then the interior designer focuses on the aesthetic, materials, and functionality inside the building; and the contractor, which is responsible for executing the construction work. Next is the supervisory individuals or groups. They assist in overseeing and delivering the project. We have the construction manager. We think of them as the project conductor. They coordinate schedules, budgets, and resources. Their job is to keep everyone in sync. Number 2 is the site supervisor. This person is like the project's air traffic controller. They're on site daily, ensuring that work progresses smoothly. Next is the quality controls inspectors. They scrutinize every detail, the welds, the finishes, and the alignment of tanks. The safety officers, they enforce safety protocols, making sure everyone wears their hard hats. Number 2 is the role of the architect in charge of construction, the AICC. The AICC bears direct professional responsibility and liability for supervising the construction project. The evolution of the construction supervision. Initially, smaller projects were managed with the assistance of a construction inspector, or traditionally known as the clerks of works. As the projects grew more complex, dedicated construction supervision groups, CSGs, became necessary for full-time inspection and project sites. Number 4 is the construction supervision group, CSG. They typically are recommended by the architect based on their performance, or hired by the owner, or answerable to both the owner and the architect. Next is the scope of services. First is the quality control. Quality control is a critical aspect of any construction project. It ensures that the work meets established standards and specifications. First, the material inspection. The supervisory team checks that the materials used meet quality requirements. Next is the workmanship. They assess the craftsmanship, whether the construction aligns with the approved plans and industry best practices. Next is the testing. Quality control involves testing such as concrete strength tests, weld inspections, and soil compaction tests to verify compliance. Second is the evaluation of construction work. The supervisory team evaluates the ongoing construction work, such as the progress assessment, the quality checks, the problem identification. Third is the preparation of daily inspection reports. Imagine a diligent inspector with a clipboard every day. They walk the site, noting down details, what was done. They document the work completed that day. The observations, any deviation from the plans or quality concerns, weather conditions, whether can impact construction, so it's essential to record it. Next is the safety incidents. If someone stubs their toe or a hard nut goes missing, it goes in the report. Number 4, filing of documents. Construction generates paperwork, a lot of it. So the supervisory team ensures proper documentation. So the contracts and agreements, they keep track of signed contracts between the owner, architect, and the contractor. The change orders, if a modification occur during construction, these are documented. So the daily logs, the daily inspection reports mentioned earlier. So as built drawings, these shows how the project was built, including any changes from the original plans. Next, we have the manner of providing services. Number 1 is the dual capacity, the architect of record and consulting architect, or the CSG. Imagine our architect Maya wearing 2 hard hats, one labeled architect of record and the other consulting architect. So here is how it plays. The architect of record, or AOR, so Maya is the primary architect responsible for the project's overall design. She creates the architectural plans, collaborates with the specialist consultants, and ensures that her vision aligns with the owner's requirements. Next is the consulting architect. Now, Maya puts on her second hat as the consulting architect. She dives into the nitty-gritty of construction supervision. She interprets her own drawings and documents, making sure that the contractor follows them precisely. Next is the staff assignment, so Maya can delegate the day-to-day supervision work to her team. They're the ones on site, checking measurements, inspecting materials, and ensuring quality. Now, number 2 is working solely as consulting architect. In this scenario, Maya only focuses exclusively on full-time supervision services. No dual rules, just one. So first is the supervision intensity. Maya's attention is unwavering. So she's there when the foundation is poured, when the walls rise, and when the roof takes shape. So next is the quality assurance. She ensures that the contractor doesn't take creative liberties like deciding to build something that wasn't on the plan originally. So next is the problem solver. So when unexpected challenges arise, so Maya troubleshoots. Next, we have the method of compensation. So first is the percentage of project construction costs, PCC. Imagine a large-scale commercial building project with an estimated total construction cost of 250 million. So the architect's agreed upon percentage for full-time supervision is 5%. So the architect's fee is equal to 5% of 250 million, which is 12.5 million. So the architect earns 12.5 million for overseeing the entire construction process. Next is the multiple of direct personal expenses. So let's say Architect David has a team working on a mid-sized residential project in the Philippines. So the details, so David's hourly rate is 6,000. Consultant's rate is 4,800. The technical staff rate is 3,200. So the total hours spent to David, AN is equal to 200 hours. The consultants is equals to 100 hours. And technical staff is 300 hours. So the direct cost is 200 times 6,000 plus 100 times 4,800 pesos plus 300 times 3,200 pesos, which all equals to 2,160,000. So the multiplier based on complexity 2.0. So the architect's fee is equals to 2,160,000 times 2.0, which equals to 4,320,000. So reimbursable expenses for travel, printing, etc. are charged separately. Next is the lump sum or fixed fee. So consider a government office building project in the Philippines. The architect, Maria, agrees to a fixed fee of 500,000 for overseeing the entire construction process, regardless of the project size or complexity. So Maria's compensation remains fixed at 500,000. Number 4, per diem or honorarium plus reimbursable expenses. So suppose the owner wants the architects, let's say si Alex, to attend project-related meetings and site visits in the Philippines. So Alex charges a daily per diem rate of 5,000 pesos. So if Alex spends 3 days attending meetings and conducting site inspections, so his compensation would be 5,000 times 3 because 3 days siya ga-attend og mga meetings. So iyang compensation is 15,000 pesos plus mga additional expenses na nakuha ni Alex. So next is the mixed methods of compensation. So for a long-term relationship with a developer in the Philippines, architect, let's say Ave, combines methods. First is the percentage of PCC for design phases, then lump sum for construction supervision, and then the per diem for occasional site visits. Next is the limitation of authority, so responsibility boundaries, of course. So the CSG, which can be independent architectural firm or a group led by an architect, should not assume the role of contractor's project superintendent because they're separate. The project superintendent is the contractor's on-site representative responsible for managing day-to-day construction activities. So the decision making, the CSG should not make decisions on matters that are solely the responsibility of the architect of record, of course. The AOR holds the critical decision making authority related to design intent, change orders, and quality assurance. Next, we have the legal responsibility. First is the administrative matters. The CSG is responsible to the owner primarily for administrative matters. Next is the technical matters. For technical aspects, the CSG is accountable to the architect of record. The service contract or agreement. Although Article 1723 of the Civil Code may seem to absolve the CSG of legal responsibility since AOR and engineer of record handle design and the contractor handles construction, a specific service contract or agreement can outline the CSG's professional responsibilities and civil liabilities. Next and last is the cross claims. If the owner sues the AOR and the contractor due to actions related to the CSG, the AOR and the engineer of record may file cross claims against the CSG. Lastly is the qualifications. Inspectors of the Construction Supervision Group or CSG must have the following: a Bachelor of Science in Architecture degree, extensive experience in design and building construction, and must be very knowledgeable in building materials and construction detailing.
Hello, I'm Juanette Carlino and I will discuss about SPP 204P about construction services. So, construction services encompasses the planning, design, and building structures, ensuring projects are completed on time and within budget. These services include cost estimation, project scheduling, site analysis, and obtaining necessary permits, increasing complexity and demand. As construction projects become more complex, there is a growing need for better cost control and faster project completion, all while maintaining high quality. This is where construction management services comes in. So, in the role of construction manager is responsible for overseeing the entire construction process to ensure it meets the project goal. First, a member of the owner's staff. This is an internal employee who is dedicated to managing the project from within the organization. Second, an independent individual. This is a freelance professional hired specifically for the project, bringing specialized expertise. And third, a firm. This is a company that specializes in construction management and is contracted by the owner to handle the project. Purpose of construction management services. These services are designed to fill the need for effective management of construction projects. They help in first, cost control by keeping the project within budget. Second, timely completion for ensuring the project is completed on schedule. Third, quality assurance by maintaining high standards of work throughout the project. By having a dedicated construction manager, projects are more likely to be successful, meeting all required standards and timelines. Architect as construction manager. An architect can take on the role of a construction manager due to their extensive training and expertise in coordinating various aspects of a construction project. This dual role leverages the architect's skills in several key areas. So first, coordination of specialists. So architects are trained to work with different specialists such as structural engineers, electrical engineers, and interior designers. This makes them well suited to oversee the integration of these various elements into a cohesive project. Second, supervision and monitoring. As AECM, the architect ensures that all construction activities are properly supervised. This includes regular site visits, inspections, and meeting with contractors to monitor progress and address any issues that arise. Third, quality assurance. The architect's eye for detail helps maintain high standards of quality and workmanship throughout the construction process. They ensure that the work meets the design specification and industry standards. Fourth, cost management. Architects are also skilled in managing budgets and controlling costs. They can oversee the financial aspects of the project, ensuring that it stays within budget while still achieving the desired quality and functionality. By serving as both the architect and the construction manager, the professional can provide a seamless transition from design to construction, ensuring that the project is completed efficiently and to the highest standards. Responsibilities of the construction manager. The construction manager, CM, has several key responsibilities which include overseeing the functions of the Construction Supervision Group, or CSG. So, here's a breakdown of these responsibilities. 2.1, Functions of the Construction Supervision Group, or CSG. The CM is responsible for following tasks which are typically handled by the CSG. So, 2.1, Coordination and Supervision. The CM ensures that all construction activities are well coordinated and supervised. This involves managing the workflow, ensuring that all team members are on the same page, and resolving any issues that arise during the construction process. Second, cost and time control. The CM is responsible for managing the project budget and schedule. This includes monitoring expenses, ensuring that the project stays within budget, and making sure that all tasks are completed on time. So next, quality control of work. The CM ensures that all construction work meets the required quality standards. This involves regular inspections, testing materials, and ensuring that all work complies with the project specification and regulations. Next, keeping of records. The CM maintains detailed records of all construction activities. This includes documenting progress, keeping track of expenses, and maintaining records of any changes or issues that arise during the project. So, employment of the Construction Supervision Group. So, the CM has two options regarding the employment of the CSG. First, hiring the CSG directly. The CM can hire the CSG to work directly under their supervision. This means the CSG is employed by the CM and reports directly to them. Second, supervising the CSG hired by the owner. So, alternatively, the CM can supervise a CSG that is hired directly by the owner. In this case, the CSG is not employed by the CM, but still works under their supervision to ensure that all construction activities are properly managed and coordinated. This structure allows flexibility in how the CSG is managed, ensuring that the CM can effectively oversee the construction process while maintaining control over quality, cost, and time. Limitation of authority. So, involvement with contractors' work. The architect in their role as CM must avoid direct involvement in the contractor's work. This is to ensure that the architect does not assume any of the contractor's liabilities. According to the Article 1723 of the Civil Code, the contractor is responsible for the construction work, and any direct involvement by the architect could blur the lines of responsibility and liability. So second, imposing methods, systems, or designs. The architect should not impose any methods, systems, or design that could significantly alter the construction schedule or compromise the original design concept. This limitation ensures that the architect respects the integrity of the design and the planned timeline, avoiding any substantial changes that could disrupt the project. These limitations are in place to maintain clear boundaries between the roles and responsibilities of the architect and the contractor, ensuring that each party can effectively fulfill their duties without overstepping their authority. Pre-construction. Before building starts, the architect reviews all documents, check the contractor's plans, and make sure everything is ready to go. During the construction, the architect monitors the construction to see that it adheres to the design, quality standards, and timelines. They address any on-site problems, make necessary adjustments, and review requests for any changes. So, post-construction, after the building is completed, the architect inspects it for defects or deviation from the design. They ensure everything works properly and meets the expected standards. Legal responsibility. The architect, as a construction manager, is directly responsible to the owner in all aspects of the construction work. It may be programming, coordination, quality, and cost control and time management. So, the CM assumes no liability in case equipment fail to function or if a portion of the building collapses. So, these are due to deficiencies in the plan and design provided by the CM who did not participate in plan or design review and approval, or due to the deficiencies in the manner of construction provided by the CM faithfully discharged its functions during the construction or project implementation. So here is an example in scenario 1 where equipment failure due to design deficiencies. The context where the architect is serving as the CM for a commercial office building project. The HVAC system malfunctioned shortly after occupancy, causing discomfort for the occupants. So the architect, in their role as CM, is directly responsible to the owner for all aspects of the construction work, including the HVAC system. They were involved in programming, coordination, quality control, and cost management. The liability, if the HVAC system failure results from design deficiencies, example incorrect sizing, inadequate ventilation, the architect assumes liability. However, if the architect was not part of the design review and approval process, their liability may be limited. Qualifications. The construction manager may be an individual or a firm. The individual or the principal of the firm must be a state-regulated professional, preferably an architect with a managerial capabilities and extensive experience in the field of construction. The architect must be a registered and licensed architect with an updated professional identification card and must be a member in good standing of the integrated and accredited professional organization of architects. Architects who are contractors or who have already been in responsible charge of construction works are usually capable of becoming construction managers. Method of compensation. Since construction management is not part of the regular services of the architect, the services rendered by the architect as a construction manager shall be separately compensated. First, a method of compensation. Engineering design, where engineers are responsible for designing critical systems within the building. So engineers create plans for load-bearing elements like beams, columns, and foundations. Engineers also design electrical systems including wiring, lighting, and power distribution. Engineers plan water supply, drainage, and sewage systems. They also design HVAC, where heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems are crucial for comfort and energy efficiency. Second, permitting and approvals. Navigating local regulations and obtaining necessary permits are essential steps before construction begins. Architects and project managers handle this process. For example, building permits required for new construction or significant renovation. Zoning approvals, where ensuring the project complies with local zoning laws. Environmental permits, where obtaining approvals related to environmental impact. Third, site preparation. Clearing and grading, preparing the land by removing obstacles like trees, rocks, and leveling the ground. Utility hookups, where connecting to water, sewer, electricity, and other utilities. Fourth, building construction. Residential construction is building homes, apartments, and housing complex. Commercial construction is where constructing office buildings, retail spaces, hotels, and warehouses. Industrial construction is creating factories, manufacturing plants, and industrial facilities. Civil construction services. These large-scale projects form the backbone of our infrastructure, like roads and bridges, we're building and maintaining transportation networks. Utility systems, we're installing and maintaining water, sewage, and electrical systems. Public works, where projects like dams, railways, and airports. Renovation and restoration. So, remodeling, like upgrading existing structures, adding new features, or changing layouts. Historic restoration, where preserving and restoring historical buildings while ensuring safety and functionality. Specialized services. Green building services, like focusing on sustainable and energy-efficient construction, using eco-friendly materials and incorporating renewable energy sources. Interior fit-out, where designing and finishing interior spaces including fixtures, flooring, and partitions. Infrastructure services, like large-scale projects like bridges, roads, dams, and airports. Civil construction services, where public works such as utility systems, railways, and more. Project management. So, coordinating all aspects of construction from scheduling to budgeting. Example, construction project managers, where they oversee the entire process, ensuring timely completion and quality control. The design-build services, where integrating design and construction under one entity for streamlined project delivery.
Good day everyone, my name is Cindy Nick Astagok and I will discuss what construction management is about. So, what is construction management? So, construction management is a professional service involving oversight and control over tasks and activities in the construction phase. Typically, it is handled by a construction manager or what we call CM. It covers all essential elements of the construction process including its schedule, cost, quality, function, and safety. This service is ideal for a large-scale construction project such as industrial facilities, commercial properties, transportation, infrastructures, and other capital projects. So the purpose of construction management. Construction management aims to deliver high-quality construction projects in the allotted time and budget while meeting safety standards and the owner's expectations. It establishes systems and procedures to ensure all construction activities are completed according to plan. For this to work, the construction managers collaborate with all key stakeholders involved in the project, such as the owners, architects, engineers, and the general contractor. They are also responsible for the following tasks: determining what the project needs in terms of its construction, also developing and weighing proposals for construction materials, assets, equipments, workers, and aligning construction costs within the set budget. Benefits of construction management. It goes without saying that effective management is crucial when handling construction works, but how exactly does it benefit construction projects? So the primary strength of the construction management lies in organizing workflows to ensure that tasks and activities go according to plan. This practice promotes a systematic order of carrying out jobs while avoiding disjointed processes is one of the main drivers of poor construction performance. Construction management improves overall productivity and boosts project performance. The advantages of construction management also flow into other aspects of the construction process. In particular, it helps construction teams save time and money. It also optimizes resources for a more efficient project delivery. It also prevents, mitigate, and manage risk in the construction process. It also builds safe and better quality infrastructure. So what are the functions of construction management? Construction management consists of the following functions and tasks to fulfill the objectives and requirements of the construction project. The first one is cost management. So it tracks and controls funds throughout the construction process to ensure it stays within the allocated budget. Second one is the schedule management. So it maps out and consistently follows a master timeline for construction tasks to complete projects on time. For quality management, it develops, implements, and monitors quality assurance and quality control protocols in all levels of construction works to meet the owner's standards. For safety management, it establishes, produces to ensure safety within the construction site and building before occupancy. Change management. It assesses, carry out, and document necessary modifications or alterations in the original construction plan. Inspections. It performs regular inspections throughout the construction process to verify its quality, safety, and legal compliance. And last one is documentation. To maintain a record of all correspondences. Okay. And last one, we have documentation. It is to maintain a record of all correspondence. For the last one, we have documentation. It is to maintain a record of all correspondences, procedures, approvals, and change orders throughout the process. So there are also 5 phases of construction management. So the first one is planning. So in the planning phase, the CM or the construction manager develops a construction management plan comprising all relevant information about the construction project. It informs project teams and stakeholders about the owner's vision and goals for the project and guides them throughout the construction process. In addition, the construction manager also carries out the following activities. First one is the collaborating with the designers of the project to evaluate and agree upon the feasibility and the owner's objectives, targets, and specifications. So it also carries determining the delivery method suitable for the project, assessing potential risks and setbacks during construction, and devising strategies to avoid or mitigate them. Planning strategies for managing waste from the construction site. Pre-construction. So the pre-construction phase includes all necessary preparations before proceeding with the construction itself. The hiring process begins in the phase as the CM works hand in hand with a PM to choose the members of the construction teams. Moreover, the CM also compiles the record documents for the building permits and contractor bids, such as the technical specifications, design drawings, and contracts for construction management. Procurement. In this phase, the CM plans the procurement procedure for the construction equipment and materials in line with the project's budget and schedule. During bidding, the CM will review all submitted proposals and negotiate the best terms for the construction's goals and targets. Number 4 is construction. As mentioned in the previous sections, the bulk of the CM's work goes into the construction phase. The CM pays close attention to the following construction activities to make sure that the project runs smoothly and gets delivered as planned. Also, it conducts regular quality control and site inspections. The CM also runs safety program audits on the work premises. Also, they process and approve change orders. They also manage cost and work payments schedule. They also manage cost and work payment schedules. They also arrange necessary permit and insurance. They also respond requests for information or what we call RFIs. So the CMs also coordinates construction teams for on-time completion. And they also document change orders, inspections, corrective actions, communications, and other processes. Okay, for number 5, we have closeout. This phase marks completion of the construction project, but the CM's responsibilities are far from over. And this closeout phase, the CM compiles. In this closeout phase, the CM accomplishes all items in the construction punch list. They must also observe a smooth turnover to the project's owner by submitting project documents, manuals, lectures, and reports for the owner's reference. And that is all. Thank you.
Hello again. In this part, we will explore the examples of each professional fee in every type of occupancy. First is the residential occupancy group A. This type of residents are essential for providing shelter and community living. This includes one-family dwellings, single homes designed for one household, two-family dwellings. It is duplexes that accommodate two households, houses, attached homes that share walls but are individually owned. Professional fees for residential occupancy. When it comes to residential projects, architects and designers charge specific fees based on the services provided. Let's look at two key documents that outline these fees. According to SPP Document 202, for residential projects, architects typically charge a basic fee of 10% of the total construction cost. This fee covers all aspects of design, from the initial concept to construction documentation. So in example number 1, for a two-story house with a total construction cost of 5 million pesos, the architect's design fee would be 500,000 pesos. This is calculated as 10% of 5 million pesos. Example number 2, for a luxury villa costing of 20 million pesos, the professional fee would amount to 2 million pesos and calculated as 10% of 20 million pesos. Next, we have the fees for interior design services, which range from 12% to 15% of the entire work cost. This includes services like furnishings and decor. Example number 1. For an interior design project costing of 1 million pesos, the architect's fee would range from 120,000 pesos to 150,000 pesos. Example number 2. For a high-end residence with an interior design cost of 2 million pesos, the fee could be between 240 pesos and 300,000 pesos. Institutional occupancy group B. This type of occupancy involves facilities that serve public needs and they often require complex planning due to their specific functions and requirement. So according to SPP Document 202, ang basic fee for design services is typically 6 to 7% of the total construction cost. Important ni siya kay sa institutional buildings often have unique needs, especially gid sa hospitals and schools. So example number 1, for a school building with a construction cost of 30 million pesos, the design fee would be approximately 1,800,000 pesos to 2,100,000 pesos. Example number 2, for a hospital project costing of 150 million pesos, the design fee would range from 9 million pesos to 10,500,000 pesos. For SPP Document 208, ang medical and laboratory facilities, ilang design fee is 12 to 15% of the specialized facilities cost. This accounts for the technical knowledge required to meet health standards. Example number 1. For a hospital with laboratory and operating room facilities, the cost siya og 20 million pesos. Ang professional fee might be between 2,400,000 pesos and 3 million pesos. Example number 2. For a research facility that has specialized equipment costing na 10 million pesos, the fee could range from 1,200,000 pesos to 1,500,000 pesos. Commercial occupancy group C involves buildings designed for business activities, and the professional fees associated with these projects differ from those of residential or institutional projects. According to SPP Document 202, the basic fee for design services in commercial projects typically ranges from 6 to 8% of the total construction cost. This percentage is generally lower than for residential projects. Example number 1. For a commercial office building with a construction cost of 50 million pesos, the architect's fee would range from 3 million pesos to 4 million pesos. Example number 2. For a shopping mall costing of 200 million pesos, the fee might range from 12 million pesos to 16 million pesos. SPP Document 208, for engineering and specialized services, the fee is typically 10 to 15% of the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing or MEP cost. This covers the technical aspects of the building systems. Example number 1. In an office building where MEP cost a total of 5 million pesos, the fee would range from 500,000 pesos to 750,000 pesos. Example number 2. For a shopping mall with MEP cost of 30 million pesos, the fee might be between 3 million pesos and 4,500,000 pesos. Educational Occupancy Group D, which includes buildings used for educational purposes such as schools, colleges, and universities. These buildings often required specialized design considerations for safety, functionality, and accessibility to support various learning activities. According to SPP Document 202, the basic fee for design services is typically 6 to 7% of the total construction cost. This fee reflects the specific needs of educational facilities, which include classrooms, laboratories, libraries, and multipurpose areas. Example number 1. For a primary school building with a construction cost of 30 million pesos, the design fee will range from 1 million and 800,000 pesos to 2,100,000 pesos. Example number 2. For a university building that includes lecture halls and laboratories, the costing is 100 million pesos. The fee would range from 6 million pesos to 7 million pesos. According to SPP Document 208, the fee for designing these specialized facilities typically ranges from 8 to 12% of the total specialized facility cost. This category includes spaces like science laboratories, multimedia rooms, and sports facilities, which require unique design considerations to meet educational needs. Example number 1. For a school-sized laboratory with a total facility cost of 5 million pesos, the professional fee would likely range from 400 pesos to 600,000 pesos. Example number 2. For a university sports complex with specialized facilities costing of 20 million pesos, the fee would be between 1,600,000 pesos and 2,400,000 pesos. Business and Mercantile Occupancy Group B, which includes buildings used for business transactions such as office, banks, and shopping centers. According to SPP Document 202, the basic fee for design services is typically 6 to 7% of the total construction cost. This fee reflects the need for efficient space planning and coordination of commercial functions in these buildings. For example number 1, for an office building with an construction cost of 60 million pesos, the design fee would range from 3,600,000 pesos to 4,200,000 pesos. Example number 2. For a shopping center costing of 150 million pesos, the design fee would be between 9 million pesos and 10,500,000 pesos. The design fee for integrated security, automation, and surveillance systems typically ranges from 8 to 10% of the total system cost. This is crucial for ensuring the safety and efficiency of business premises. Example number 1. For an office complex where the security and automation system cost of 5 million pesos, the professional fee would range from 400,000 pesos and to 500,000 pesos. Example number 2. For a shopping center with security system costing of 20 million pesos, the fee would be between 1,600,000 pesos and 2 million pesos. That's the end of my presentation on this topic. Next up, we'll have Ms. Pitos to continue the reporting.
The sixth type of occupancy is the industrial occupancy, or also known as the Group F. Under this is the non-pollutive and non-hazardous industries, also the non-pollutive but hazardous industries. Now, the types of facilities under this occupancy are power plants such as thermal or hydro or geothermal, pumping plants which are known as water supplies, irrigation systems, and sewage, also factories and other similar facilities. And as for its zoning classification, it is the I1 or Industrial 1, which is a light industrial use or occupancy. With its examples of professional fees, the first one, which is the SPP Document 202, Design Services, its basic fee includes 5 to 6% of the total construction, which for industrial projects, the fee is typically lower due to the specialized nature of the work and less emphasis on the aesthetics. So example number 1 is the manufacturing plant, which is a construction cost of 100 million. Then the possible range of the design fee would be around 5 to 6 million. Second example is the power plant, which is a construction cost of 500 million, and its possible range of design fee would be around 25 million to 30 million. As for its SPP Document 208, which are the aligned design services, this includes the specialized equipment and design fee, or system design fee. It is about 10 to 15% of equipment and system cost, which this applies to the design of specialized equipment layouts and systems such as HVAC, process piping, and other industrial systems. Example number 1 of it is the industrial plant, which it has an equipment cost of 50 million, and its possible range of the architect's fee might be around 5 to 7.5 million. And second example is the refinery with equipment and system that cost a total of 200 million, which the possible range of the fee would be around 20 to 30 million. Next would be the hazardous occupancy, or also known as the Group G. Under this is the pollutive but non-hazardous industries, and also pollutive and hazardous industries. Now the types of facilities under this occupancy are storage tanks, armories, plastic compounding, also factories with highly flammable chemicals, and other large complexes for public utilities. The zoning classification of this occupancy is I2, or also known as Industrial 2, which is a medium industrial use or occupancy. Now for its examples of professional fees for this occupancy is that its SPP document 202, which is the design services, its basic fee is around 7 to 9% of the total construction cost, which this fee is relatively higher due to the stringent safety and compliance requirements associated with the hazardous materials. Now, example number 1 of this is the chemical storage facility. This chemical storage facility has a construction cost of 50 million, and its possible range of the design fee would be around 3 to 4.5 million. Second example is the power plant, which its construction cost is around 500 million, which the possible range of the design fee would start from 25 to 30 million. Regarding with the SPP document 208, or the Aligned Design Services, it includes with environmental and safety systems design fee, which is about 10 to 15% of the total systems cost. And this applies to the design of these systems such as ventilation, fire suppressions, and containment systems, which are required to manage hazardous materials safely. Examples of this are number 1, the hazardous storage facility, which it has a safety systems that cost around 20 million, with a possible range of fee that could be around 2 to 3 million. And second example is the laboratory, which has a specialized safety system that costs around 10 million, and the range of fee would be around 1 to 1.5 million. For the 8th type of occupancy, which is the assembly occupancy, or also known as the Group H. Under this type of occupancy is a recreational or assembly that must only have an occupant load of less than 1,000. The types of facilities under this occupancy is theaters, auditoriums, convention halls, and audiovisual rooms. The examples of professional fees under the assembly occupancy is the first one, which is the document 202, which is the design services. It has a basic fee of 7 to 8% of total construction cost, which this is due to the large scale and complex nature of such projects, and the fee, however, reflects the design intricacies and safety considerations required for public assembly. Now, its examples under this SPP document is the community theater, which it has a construction cost of around 50 million, and a possible range of the fee would be around 3.5 to 4 million. And second example is the sports arena, which it has a construction cost of 200 million, and the range of fee would start from 14 million to 60 million. Now, for its SPP document 208, or the Allied Design Services, it includes with a 10 to 15% of specialized system costs under the acoustical and lighting design fee. Now, this is because it covers the design of acoustical environments and specialized lighting systems, which kanang critical siya for venues, kanang mga theaters and auditoriums. So, the examples under the SPP document is, first one is the theater. It includes rather an acoustical and lighting systems, which costs around 10 million, and it has a possible range of fee that would be around 1 million to 1.5 million. And the second one again is the sports arena, which includes rather a specialized sound and lighting systems that costs also 10 million, and the range of the fee might be 3 to 4.5 million. The next type of occupancy is the institutional occupancy, which is also known as Group I. Similar to the Group H, it also has a recreational or assembly buildings, but it will hold an occupant load of 1,000 or more within the building. Now, the types of facilities under this occupancy are concert halls, convention centers, and coliseum. Now, for its examples of professional fees for institutional occupancies, it's SPP document 202, which is again the design services. It has a basic fee of 7 to 8% of total of construction. Now, this is because the institutional buildings requires a more complex planning, especially towards sa kanang mga specialized na rooms like operating rooms, kanang mga isolation wards, and kanang they must also adhere such kanang strict nga safety and also health standards kay buildings under this occupancy are very large percent. Then the first example of the institutional occupancy under the document SPP document 202 is the first one is hospital project, which includes a construction cost of 200 million and a possible range of design fee might be around 14 to 16 million. The second one is the nursing home, which includes a construction cost of 50 million and the range of the design fee would be around 3.5 to 4 million. As for its SPP document 208, which is again the Allied Design Services, it includes a 10 to 15% of specialized facilities cost with its towards its medical facility design fee, which this applies to the design of specialized areas such as kanang mga laboratories, operating rooms, and intensive care units, which gonna require a very detailed planning and kanang mga pag-integrate sa mga medical equipment. So examples ani is again the hospital, which includes a specialized facilities that cost around 30 million and the possible range of the professional fee might be around 3 to 4.5 million. And the second example is the rehabilitation center, which it includes a specialized therapy rooms that cost around 200 million, which the range of the fee could possibly be around 1 to 1.5 million. The last type of occupancy is the storage occupancy, or also known as Group J. Now, under this is accessory agricultural and other occupancies that relates to kanang sheltering products, vehicles, animals, or kanang mga warehouses. The types of facilities under this occupancy are agricultural structures such as barn, mga silos, stables, greenhouses, and sheds. So to proceed for its examples of professional fees, under its SPP document 202, or again the design services, it has a basic fee of 4 to 5% of the total construction cost, which storage buildings often have a simpler design focus compared sa mga other types of occupancies nga kanang bongga kayo. So example 1 is warehouse. The construction cost of this is around 30 million and the range of the design fee would be around 4 to 5 million. Second one is the multi-level parking garage, which includes a construction cost of 100 million and the range of the design fee would be around 4 to 5 million. For its Allied Design Services, or the SPP document 208, it includes in an 8 to 10% of system costs for its logistics and storage systems. Tungod ni kay ga-include mga siya of designing for storage solutions such as kanang mga racking systems, automated retrieval systems, and it also must have a logistical planning. Examples under this SPP document 208 is again the warehouse. It has a storage system that costs around 5 million rather, and the range of the fee would be around 400,000 to 500,000. And the second one is the large-scale distribution system, which has an automated system that costs around 50 million, and the range of the fee would be around 4 to 5 million. So here we can see that this is the summary, or rather the table of each occupancy, or easy na ninyo makita. I-shorten ang dayon mo siya para dili inyo libog sa.
So that is all for our report. Thank you everyone and have a great day.